kilograms.
Oh my God, you're cute.
So, well, the maximum dose would be a half a tablet of the 250 milligram. We have Giardia in the stool. Giardia is a protozoan parasite that occurs from contact with other animals that have it, or with contaminated water, things like that. And it's common in puppies that come from puppy mills. So it gives me another reason to suspect that this was a puppy mill where this puppy was born. Not that that makes him a bad puppy necessarily. I mean, but he may have been exposed to things that other puppies aren't always exposed to. So Giardia is in the stool. It's contagious to other animals and to people. But if you wash your hands after handling the puppy and cleaning up the poop, you should have gathered. I mean, but it's transmitted by water and food. Yeah, it's got pneumonia too. And so part of this Giardia treatment is to give Panacure, which is it's for parasites too, for other parasites, some worms and so on. So we may get a double benefit out of this. The fecal smear isn't the best way to see parasites, but the fact that I found a whole bunch of Giardia cysts means that we do have some. So the metronidazole that I use to treat that also is a very helpful aid to treating pneumonia in many cases, because some of these puppies get a layer of mucus over the bacteria in the lungs, and so they actually grow without the presence of air, and the metronidazole kills those anaerobic bacteria. So I'm going to use it for both those purposes.
How long will he be on that?
6 days.
And then do you bring him back to check to see if he's...
Yeah, we give it, usually you give him a week or two after he's off the medicine, a couple of weeks, and then check. It's also important to keep the stools cleaned up and keep his rear end washed off after he has a bowel movement so that he doesn't transmit this Giardia.
So what we have, what they have is, of course, it always happens, a trip plan. They're going to be going international to Europe, and they're leaving around the 19th of December. Well, we have them until about the 21st of December. So what is the time frame for, how does this work, and how would this play out, do you think?
Are they going to a place that needs an international health certificate? I mean, are they going to England or Australia or?
England, and well, they're not taking him.
Oh, they're not taking
No,
him. Okay.
but what we have is, we have set up, we're trying to figure out the boarding situation. Is there boarding available here?
We do a limited amount of boarding.
But if he has pneumonia, you don't want to leave him back there.
Yeah. Well, he's not seriously ill with it, but he's having a hard time shaking it.
Is he vaccinated?
He's not completely up to date, no. The 27th of October was his last one, and he was only 10 weeks old at the time, about maybe 11 weeks.
Hi, Bubbles. I know. I'm sorry. You're very cute, but I don't want Giardia. Oh, don't you know?
So is there any, what would, if there be any option of boarding here at all?
I'm gonna go turn his nails. What do you guys want?
Maybe if we can get him healthy enough to give him another parvo shot, because he's still probably susceptible to parvovirus, and you don't want to board a puppy at a veterinary clinic if he's not immune from parvovirus. He probably isn't. And when he's got pneumonia, isn't a great time to get vaccinations because you're stressing the immune system even further. I wish it weren't so complicated. There's a lot of things to think about here. But he may respond well to the metronidazole, and Panacure may actually help clear up his pneumonia too. And I'm only working through next Wednesday, and then I'll be gone for a couple of weeks. But if he doesn't respond soon, then I want to put him on a different antibiotic called azithromycin. Okay, and that often works when others don't. So,
What's the disadvantage of doing that now instead of later?
well, I don't think he's very sick, even though he's still got this rattle in his lungs, and so it's both the antibiotics he's on are pretty good antibiotics, and we're going to add one more. So I think it's probably best to just stick with what he's got right now for at least a few more days.
Okay.
And maybe we could see him again on maybe Tuesday or Wednesday next week and decide whether to put him on something else.
Okay.
I trimmed his nails.
Okay.
I trimmed his little nails.
Nails are trimmed.
So cute.
Okay. Is that antibiotic that you're going to be putting on? I can get that here?
Yeah.
Okay. Will the... Oh, wait, you're done.
How long are you guys going to be gone for?
They're going to be gone for 10, 11 days.
Yeah, basically 11 days.
And when was it?
They leave the 19th, but we will be watching them for a couple of days, so that we have until the 21st, which is a Monday.
Okay.
I might be able to take him to my house during the night. I just have to make sure I don't have anybody else in my house. The 21st of this month?
21st of December, right?
Till when?
You guys get back when?
The first.
They get back on the 1st of January 1st.
Yeah. Katie is the best dog sitter in the country, so.
That would be a miracle.
Yeah. As long as his Giardia. If his Giardia is gone, I can take him home. I just have dogs of my own, and I don't want them to all get sick too. So as long as his Giardia is gone, I'll take him.
Wow,
Okay, that's so great.
that is awesome.
Thank you.
What we'll do is, after our Giardia treatment, like a week later, we'll send in that stool sample that actually tests for the presence of the antibody of Giardia. So it's a much more accurate test. But since I found all these things, we don't have to send that test in because we know he has it. You know, I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Now this antibiotic we're going to use, metronidazole, works best near the upper end of the dosage range, which is 25 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, which means a half of a 250 milligram tablet twice a day. A very few dogs at that dose will start getting kind of dizzy and wobble a little on their legs, and if he does that, we may have to back off the dose a little bit. But I've only seen that once in 40 years, and I've given this dose hundreds of times, so I want to try it.
Did you see him? He's just like corn cobbing.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
Oh, he's adorable. I love Rachel.
Oh, to just recap here on this, so he's going to start this dosage for the Giardia, and it's going to start today, and we're going to have him on it until Tuesday of next week. We bring him in Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, or when is it that we do that?
Yeah, I want to check him. He's going to be on it for 6 days, so he'll be on it till Thursday of next week. But I want to check him before then to see if I want to put him on azithromycin before I leave.
Okay. Okay.
So either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, I can take him Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay. We'll make that
Wednesday
happen.
would be best, probably.
Yeah, let's do Wednesday.
Okay.
So we want 6. Now these metronidazole are very bitter tasting, so you have to hide them in food or something, or just poke them way down behind the back of the throat.
Okay.
I like to give them like a little piece of cheese, something they really love, and then when they want the second piece, you have the peel hidden, and they usually just gobble it down without tasting it. So that's generally the best way to get it down Frenchies.
Okay.
So at what point would we, generally, how long, if the dosage works for the Giardia, will it take to clear up the Giardia?
6 days.
Oh, it
Usually.
can happen that fast?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, should she bring in a stool sample on Wednesday when she comes?
No, that's too soon. It won't show then because it will be, the medication will be suppressing it. But we want to make sure it's completely gone, so we have to test them later on.
Okay. Oh, that's something like 2 weeks later, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be right up against.
But we're also going to use a packet called Panicure that has granules that you mix in with the food every day. And since we're over 10 pounds, we'd use the 20-pound size Panicure. We'll send 2 boxes, which means 6 packets. So every day for 6 days, I want you to mix one of these packets in with some canned food. Make sure he eats it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and then, so as far as Kate, it's Katie, right?
Yes.
Katie, as far as Katie is concerned, we're just kind of gonna go up to the wire on this then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure something.
I'm sure he will be fine. Even if he's not, I'll just keep him
If
separate
he's
from my
if he's
dogs.
good enough that I think next week I'll give him another parvo shot. If I mean I'm pretty sure he'll be okay to have that next week. But
That's awesome, okay.
And I'll give you my cell phone number before you guys leave tonight.
Oh, that's great, thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please.
I'm glad I found those Giardia.
Yeah,
Not that I'm glad he's got them, but I'm glad I found them because now we can treat that. The Panicure also treats some of these worms that migrate through the lungs, for example, roundworms. And so I have every reason to believe this puppy may have worms migrating through his lungs. Is why he's not clearing out fast.
You okay?
That doesn't mean he won't clear up. It just means there could be a reason for it to persist.
Yeah. We did give him his deworming, but of course I don't know.
You know what kind that was?
We gave it to him for the first 7 days that we had him.
Okay. And
Yeah, November 1st.
what did it look like?
It was, I think we still have it actually. It's white, milky stuff that, let me see.
Interesting if that's the same drug as Panicure. It's interesting that the Giardia lived through that.
You are so cute.
Okay, why don't you grab us some medications? 6 metronidazole cut in half, the 250s, and 6 of the packets.
Dr. Barney,
Mhm.
should we be concerned about other dogs he's come in contact with having the Giardia?
yeah, so he's been around my dog Newman. Should we give Newman something too?
Well,
Newman's in the car.
it's hard to say because adults have kind of more resistance to it, but anybody can get it. People can get it. I've had it twice.
Yeah.
I've actually had it, I attracted it through Fallen Leaf Lake.
Yeah, I got it from fishing, got water splashed. on my
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah.
So, anyway, probably we should put him on metronidazole at least.
Him?
No, Newman.
Newman. Okay.
Is he? How big is he now? What's his
80
weight?
pounds. He's 9.5 years old.
Okay.
He's in the car.
Well, let's just give him some metronidazole.
Okay.
Yeah. At 80 pounds, he's 36 kilograms. So, about 500 milligrams for 44 pounds. Yeah, we'll give him 1.5 of the 500 milligram size twice a day for 6 days. So, I'll have her get
I
that.
also found out the name of the dewormer.
Oh, okay. Albendazole?